Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Now it's time for the playoffs. Wildcard weekend over-unders. Let's get this money. First game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals. Over-under is 48.5. Money. I'm going under here, and I think this is going to be a hard-fought football game. I think the Raiders' defense shows up. I think the Bengals' defense shows up. And we know Burrow's one of the most explosive quarterbacks in this league. Look at what he did against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense wasn't even playing bad, man. They were getting pressure on him every play. They were hitting him every play. They were putting paws on him every play, yet he was still winning and throwing dimes. Listen, you could see that happening against the Raiders, but I don't know, man. I think that injury against the Chiefs is bigger than people want to talk about. Also, this Raiders defense, no one really wants to talk about him. No one really wants to give him any credit. I warned people last week before they bet on the Chargers. I said, man, this Raiders defense is peaking at the right time. They got an active defensive line in Guackway, Max Crosby. I think they take advantage of the Bengals, and that's why I think this sticks to under. Now, we could see this 48.5 get up a little bit more. We could see it get up to 50. I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised. And we're looking at both teams. And also this Bengals defense is nothing to snub your nose at. Hubbard is damn good. And you got a Bengals defense without a lot of stars, without a lot of notoriety, but they play really hard, they play really fast, and they might tackle better than any defense in this league, and that's something you can't underrate. And you got a Raiders offense, man. They had Ruggs. If Ruggs wasn't in chains right now, you wonder what they could do. Deshaun Jackson hasn't been that spice of a deep threat they need. The Raiders play in a box. If you're playing in a box against the Bengals, you're going to get cooked. And that's why I absolutely love this under. I think it's one you should not smug your nose at, even though we all respect King Burrow. And I do respect Carr and Josh Jacobs. Next game, got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Bucks, over under 47. I'm going under here, and I think this might be a game where we see both teams struggle at times offensively. You got an Eagles defense that's underrated, man. It's not the defensive line of 4 or 5 years ago, but they can still win battles. They can still put up pressure. And we know Tampa Bay's got a great offensive line, but Tampa Bay's offense is really out of flow. They're really out of rhythm, and a little bit of pounding and a spanking delivered to the Panthers doesn't solve many of my questions. It doesn't solve many of their problems. And without Antonio Brown, I do think they'll lose a little bit of inspiration. On the other side of the football, everyone wants to smack Hurts. Everyone wants to hate on Hurts, but this really isn't about him. I think Hurts will help with the run game, but there's only so much you can do against the Todd Bowles defense that is armed with Vita Vea, other players in the interior, good linebacking play. Todd Bowles defense is always one of the toughest to run on in the league. Listen, I'm not comparing him to the legendary Dick LeBeau, but when you talk about the run fits, when you talk about the scheme, it's the same. I never liked running against the Dick LeBeau defense, even when my Vikings had Peterson in a top 5 O-line with Hutchinson. So that's where I'm going at. I think both teams have drives where there's just nothing. I like the first half under. I think both teams come out a little bit sluggish, a little bit out of rhythm, a little bit out of gusto. That's why I really like the under 47. I think Brady takes control in the second half. I think he'll put up points, but I don't think he gets into the 30s. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. Big D, over under 50.5. It's just one I'm going back and forth with, but I'm going over. And it seems like every 49ers game, it turns into a semi-shootout, whether it be a shootout for the full 4 quarters or whether it be a shootout for the second half. And Dallas got explosion. Dallas got playmakers. They got dudes on the outside that you don't want to sleep on. And this is an unathletic 49ers secondary. There's no other way to phrase it. And everyone's praising DeMeco Ryan. Lions. And listen, I'm not hating on him for playing a lot of zone. It's because he doesn't got dogs who can run on the backside, and that's going to be a problem against Dallas. That's a big reason why I think it pushes us towards over. And on that San Fran sideline, I think Shanahan's got something to prove here. I think Jimmy G, he always has a lot to prove, but this is a lot about Shanahan. He needs to run this rock. And when he hits the play action, he needs to get Debo on 2 or 3 big plays that can change the landscape of this game. I think Debo Samuel is the X factor here. Everyone wants to talk about Kittle. Everyone wants to talk about the 49ers run game. But I think Debo Samuel has a big game, and Diggs gambles a lot, man. You could hit him on a double move. I think we see something along those lines. It just pushes towards over on that 50.5. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Over under is 46.5. I'm going over. It's a begrudging over. Is Pittsburgh's offense going to show up? Are the receivers going to be able to catch the ball? Are we going to keep doing this dance where we act like Big Ben sucks and we don't look at the offensive line? We don't look at the receiving core. Are we going to keep doing that? Isn't it getting a bit old? But I'm going over because I think Pittsburgh's able to manufacture something. How much? I don't know. Chiefs are getting into the 30s, bro. And I know Watt's been playing great. I don't like to sleep on Mike Tomlin, but the main science of this over 46.5 is Pat Mahomes and Big Red will enter the 30-point range. And we don't know what the Steelers defense is going to do. They're going to have tricks up their sleeves. They're not going to get in the fetal and let Mr. Mahomes pound all day. I understand that. But also, there's a question of talent. And one thing we've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks from the Chiefs, they're mixing in the run game more. And that's what you want to do against the Steelers. You want to run the rock against them. Outside of the Chargers, I don't know if there has been a worse team in the second half of the season in terms of stopping the run. We saw the Chargers get better, but have the Steelers really gotten better? I mean, does them beating Baltimore really get me excited? No. So I think Chiefs get into the 30s, and I think Big Ben in this offense, they're going to scrap, they're going to fight. Maybe they get some garbage points and it pushes over late in the second half. I'm going over. If you think Pittsburgh is going to be competitive in this game, if you think this is a one-score game, you better go with the under. I just can't see it happening as much as I want to. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. We got 2 more games. Let's get this money. It's been a fun season with y'all. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. The over-under is 49. I'm going under here. But I'll be honest with you. I don't have the best read on this. I do think we see Arizona's offense struggles just a wee bit. And I think Kyler Murray, he's going to make 5, 6, 7 grandiose plays where the rabbit comes out of his hat and we're just left mind-boggled. So I am accounting for that. But also, I am a little bit worried about this Cardinals offensive line. When you look at the Rams defensive line, I'm very worried about that. But I'm also worried about Matt Stafford on the other side of the ball, guys. And hopefully the Rams get back to basics. Hopefully they're running it more. Hopefully there's a 53% run, 47% pass ratio. I'm hoping for something like that. I hope Boy Genius pulls that out of his hat. But I do think McVay will be more cautious this game. I don't think we're going to see a lot of deep passes to Beckham. I think we see a more cautious Rams game plan. That's why I'm going under. And really, I think they need it, man, because Budda Baker, he's got 2 or 3 plays in him. Outside of Harrison Smith, I don't know a better goddamn safety in this league. Maybe Derwin James, but Budda Baker, you don't want to give him a chance to change this game. And I think McVay's more conservative. That's why I really like the under 49. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. The over-under is 44.5. Money, money, money. Money. I'm going under. Now, I don't like going under in any game that involves the Buffalo Bills because the Bills have explosion. They got a really good quarterback, and they got a top 5 receiver in Stephon Diggs. You don't like going under. You don't like going under in their games. Let's be realistic about it. But you got a Patriots defense. I feel like they've been hiding stuff the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm not trying to throw the Patriots pixie dust at you. I'm not trying to sing the Bill Belichick myth like he's 10 times smarter than everyone else in this league. But let me ask this question to you guys. Don't you feel like he's kind of been sad, Meg, in the last 3 weeks? Don't you feel like he's kind of been hiding things? I think the Patriots come out with special stuff on defense here. I think they hammer the Bills with a few zone blitzes. But also on the other side of the ball, if New England doesn't run this rock, how are they going to get over 10 points? If New England does not run this rock, how are they going to get over 10 points? There is a possibility. We saw New England not run it well in the last matchup. I think that's a facade. I think that's more of an aberration, but it still happened, and it's something we have to take into account. Another thing we have to take into account is this weather. 8, 9, 10 degrees isn't conducive towards offensive football. 8, 9, 10 degrees really isn't good for a guy like Matt Jones, who doesn't have the best arm in this league. And with Ralph Wilson, even though the forecast says low winds, anyone who's been to Buffalo, anyone who's been to Ralph Wilson knows that wind can pick up in a bat of an eyelid. It really can. I'm going under the 44.5, making a money pick. Let's get this money. Have a great wildcard weekend. Let's grill. Let's eat. Let's bet. Let's get this money. Subscribe. Hit the like button.
How many days it gonna take? You switch on me and I ain't get a break. If I hop off, then the levee gon' break. If I take 2, then I'm off into space. Put all that down, pour all that out. I'm done without, we on the now. Step after step, day by the day. Live for the night and I'm never gon' break. Yeah.
Step by step, by step, by step. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Step by step, by step, by step. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Moving forward on the glory, up and onward, write the story. Little further, I can see it. We will be there before you know.
This life can get you down, down, down.
Just keep yourself around.